All right, should be good to
Morning,
go.
everyone.
What's up, Snaz? Good morning.
Morning, morning.
What's going on?
Yo,
Just waiting.
I'm just posting up my live and then good to go.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what we've got. If those relative equal that I marked out yesterday.
Say that again?
There's the relative equal lows from Friday's low and yesterday's low. I thought we might hit those.
Bounce up a little, or did you trade into those?
Sorry, say again?
You said you thought we'd hit those.
Yeah, I thought we'd hit those. I thought we'd hit those today, and we've already hit them. Like, that was going to be my target for today if we hadn't hit them. So
Yeah.
I don't know. YM looks like it's wants to drop even more. But I'm looking at the 6 hour range.
All right, I'll explain everything in my pre-market plan once. I'll probably give everyone like 5 minutes or so to join up, and then we'll get started. See what Elijah's up to.
Do some calls as well, but his one-on-ones are just him, so it's probably you're in on that long. All right, good luck, brother. If it's part of your model, part of your risk plan, part of your timing, that's perfect, man. Join the call. Oh man, it's gonna be so chaotic. So I'll join the call, sure. I'll join for a bit.
All right, no copyright lo-fi again.
Why is it not joining? My Discord's bugging. Yup.
Yo, what's up?
Let's get over it.
Just waiting.
Oh, I still need boost the server. Completely forgot about that.
Yes, sir.
So,
And I'm gonna make a tag.
actually, I can't do.
Should I make it
Stream.
ETC, like E-Trades Community, or ETM, E-Trades Mentorship?
I think ETC probably.
Okay.
Because I don't really have a mentorship yet. Anything, so.
The community is basically the mentorship. At least for you.
Yeah, I know.
A money in the building? What does that mean? Do you mark out the 90-minute low, or is it indicator? So all my time-based liquidity ranges are marked out by an indicator, but you can just refer to the time frames and mark out the previous candle's high and low. So for example, for the 90-minute range, you just go to 90-minute chart, mark out the previous candle's high and low, and then that's your 90-minute range. Oh, A money as an... Oh, I see what you mean. All right, we'll see what kind of full ports you get today.
Yo, this is the day you hit it, bro. One of the days has to be, right?
Yeah. Think about it. If you full port every day, one day, your full port's gonna pay off more than any losses you
Like-
ever incurred.
Maybe like the day before. I don't know whether overall losses.
Now we wait. This buy side liquidity looks good, but my narrative is bearish, so I'm gonna look for lower prices probably. But there's also a previous day low SMT.
I said, bro.
I'm conflicted forever.
Ethan's been watching the streams.
What'd you say?
I said that's what I said. Ethan's been watching the streams.
Oh. I'm looking for buys on Nasdaq, and am I reading the chart right? I don't know. I think I'm personally bearish though, to be honest, given how price is moving and we have a previous day high SMT. So I'd like to look for lower prices off of bearish SMTs this morning. Otherwise, I wouldn't necessarily lean bullish just yet, because my invalidation level as of right now is, I was watching this new week opening gap yesterday. It got inverted to be bearish yesterday, and then price continued to trade lower. If price reinverts that and then goes higher, then I'll probably look for higher prices. But until then, I'm just going to be looking for lower prices. I'm retiring from full porting. I calculated how much money I've lost. I would have bought a Hellcat I can't afford. Facts. Buy that
Oh my
Hellcat.
goodness. Do it, bro.
Do you use weekly profiles as confidence? Not really. I don't really use weekly profiles. I just trade price as it comes. It's mainly, my narrative is mainly built from dealing ranges. That's how I use that tool for narrative. Because right now it's like, why am I bearish is because the daily range, we're at a premium, we took out all-time highs. I'd like to see a retracement back into this discount level. And what gives me confidence is that we got a previous day high SMT 2 days in a row. So potentially we could see some lower prices. All I need to see now is some lower time frame bearish SMTs, and I'll be willing to take that stab.
Not concerned with the previous day low SMT conflicting your bearish bias.
Sorry, say that again.
As the previous day low SMT is the most recent SMT, is that not conflicting with your bearish bias?
It is conflicting, but the thing is, right now my narrative is bearish. That's why I don't really pay too much attention to it. If my bias was bullish, then I would have paid attention to it. But because it's not, it's just like using the 5-minute, 15-minute SMT in conjunction of the 90-minute chart. If I'm bullish on the 90-minute chart, I'm not going to look for bearish 5-minute or 15-minute SMTs.
Okay.
So it's the exact same thing. Now I'm using daily as my range, and the 6 hour, 90 minutes my confirmation time frames, right?
Okay.
Background noise. Row. Yeah, just cleaners here right now, so have to be. They're loud. Oops. No, that's
sell
better.
liquidity equal lows. New York City open hasn't started yet, so may push down to retake London low, but it's possible for market to shift upwards after taking this low. Yeah, I think waiting for 9:30 is probably the play here. You use standard deviation? I don't use standard deviations anymore. I used to, but now I kind of just look for drawn liquidity, to be honest. I find it hard to determine narrative or bias. If you're having a hard time determining narrative or bias, then feel free to go on my YouTube channel. I have a video on that, internal, external range liquidity. It's a really good tool to frame narrative. Yeah, I got you, Mike. I think 22385 is a target for today. What is that? Is that lower, I assume? 22385. It's all right. I mean, that would be my target today as well, so we have the same target. Yeah, we have the exact same target.
charts are so fucked.
They're so what?
My charts. Do you use log or do you use regular? I don't even remember.
Of what? Like the
Like
scale?
the chart when I, yeah.
I just do regular.
I don't know why when I click the other charts, it like shrinks everything else.
You should
Bad.
make sure all the settings are the same then on all your scales. This lower time frame PA looks so bullish to me, but this higher time frame PA looks bearish. So I'm just gonna wait for manipulation on the upside, aka SMT, and I'm gonna look for shorts.
It's 9:30. Oh, am I muted? Oh no, I'm good.
All right. 9:30. Here we go.
Here, baby.
Is it correct if I build my narrative by looking for ERL to IRL or vice versa on 4 hour than 15-minute? Yeah, you could do that. That's pretty good. What's up, Mange? I saw your trade yesterday. Good stuff. I gotta update my bio link so then you guys have the correct links.
And here we go.
And then I'm gonna need to grab that link. Let's see what's going on. 9:30. Nothing has happened so far. What do I need to look for on daily chart to strengthen my narrative? To be honest, if you get used to just doing 4 hour 15-minute chart, it's a good start. What higher time frames essentially enable for me is to have a longer term outlook on price. So that way, if I enter, let's say on the 15-minute chart, I know that my analysis and my trade is in alignment of my monthly chart, for example, and that allows me to turn my intraday trade into some sort of swing trade, basically. And that's basically what I'm doing with it. Also, my camera is not straight. Okay, there we go. That should be better. Give us that 5-minute SMT. Is there a London high SMT? No, there isn't.
YM is sinking.
Yeah. I think YM's just been the one to trade recently. Super clean. Too clean.
Clean.
Wait, what happened to my music? I just realized. It's loading. There we go. Now we got music. If NQ takes up previous 90-minute range high, is that the entry with change state delivery? Yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking for here. Yep, that's what I'm targeting to cater.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's up? How you doing, Sandro?
Oh, good. Took a long and a little bit earlier this morning.
Let's see
Nice,
what
nice.
Casper's up to. I think he's just paying attention to time-based liquidity.
What are you guys up to? Already in a trade or waiting?
Waiting right now for a short.
Waiting.
Price is pushing up. If Nasdaq keeps pushing and takes some buy side, it's possible for sells. I trade liquidity sweep. Yeah, that's exactly what we're waiting for. How come you don't have super chat and members for YouTube? Maybe one day, but for now, I don't think there's enough people in chat to do that. So I just give the free value. Like if I had like 3,000 viewers every single day, then that's a possibility. I'll think about it. So I can actually read chat without it flying by. But otherwise, right now, we got like peak 80 people usually. So it's still manageable for me. So I'll still answer everyone's questions. Okay. Does Jesse use 90-minute time-based liquidity? I'm not sure. I don't think he does. From my memory, I don't think he does, but he might. I think majority of the time he's really just paying attention to London high, London low, previous day high, previous day low. What confirmation do you usually look for, and how many confluence do you need to enter a trade? So what I need is really, number one is always narrative. So what's the intended direction of price that I see right now? Then number two is going to be SMT to confirm my narrative. So those are the two things I look for. And then if it's confirmed by SMT, then I just enter. Do you know how I can use Dow Jones to help trade Nasdaq? I don't use SMT, don't understand how to use this. So how I use Dow Jones is I look for cracks and correlation in the market. So typically you want to see ES, NQ, and YM move together, right, in tandem. And that's how you know it's a high probability market majority of the times. And whenever one is doing the opposite of another, then you start looking for potential opportunities of reversal. So as of right now, you can see Dow Jones pushing lower, ES is failing to go anywhere, Nasdaq pushing higher. So because my narrative on the higher time frame is bearish, this cracking correlation, I'm looking for an opportunity to go look for lower prices and for Nasdaq to catch up to YM. I usually wait for a chain state delivery to confirm the SMT. My camera is actually trolling. It just keeps drooping. I'm gonna tighten this as much as I can. Hopefully that works. I need to get a new lens. I need to get a prime lens. What's your bias for the day? My bias is bearish. I base it off of the higher time frame. The daily chart, there's a previous day high SMT, so within the daily range. Look, I'm looking for a discount of this daily range because we have previous day high SMT, and that's pretty much why I'm bearish today. USD CH, I actually never trade that, but I'll take a look. Are you in a long or a short? Took a short on USD CHF and it's failing at the moment. I think it looks good. Start from the 90-minute chart here. Daily chart. I could see a potential retracement coming in, but the 90-minute chart, you don't really have much to go off of as of right now. I don't know what to use SMT with in this case, but this is a bullish market structure shift right here. 15-minute. I think my invalidation level would probably be this 15-minute fair value gap. Until this is invalidated, I think this short looks really solid, to be honest. Looking for these low resistance liquidity. So I think it looks pretty good as long as this 15-minute fair value gap is respected. All right, so let's see if we get a displacement lower. If we get a chain state delivery with this 935 candle, then that's when I'm going to be taking a stab at a short here. How many times do you live trade? I live trade Tuesday to Thursday, and then Monday to Friday I live trade in a private group. Outlook on gold. I gave an outlook yesterday. I'm bullish on gold still. I don't think it would have changed much. It's always the gold. Always gold, man. Bullish. Okay. You usually take trade in private DS. I assume that means Discord. I do not. I just call out my trade as I take it. If you chose one entry model, which one you choose? Change state delivery or PSP? I would do change state delivery personally. Short and target previous week low. That would not be the most ideal. I think that's pretty far. What I'd look for is this daily fair value gap, or like a discount of this range probably. So I'd probably aim for this previous break of structure, which would be 22320.5. That would be my target for a short. But then in order to get this short, I need I'd like to see displacement lower, creating this change state delivery first. So we still got a minute in this candle. If it doesn't create, I'll wait for the next one. I look for S&P gap fills, and other types of Kraken correlation. So I don't really look at different types of Kraken correlation, because typically whenever there is that whatever type of Kraken correlation you're looking for, there's a lower time frame Kraken correlation. So if there's a SMT between two fair value gaps, let's say on the daily chart, then usually there's already a previous day low, previous day high SMT, or previous week low, previous week high SMT that's occurring at the same time. Today is pre-NFP day. Any opinion on that? I find that pre-NFP days are kind of iffy. Yeah, typically pre-NFP is pretty choppy from my experience. I'm kind of just going to execute if my model's here. Manage risk accordingly, though. Outlook on crude oil. All right, let's take a look. I feel like it's just bearish right now, given this massive rejection lower, but I think I'm gonna have to do analysis on the monthly chart. I'd like to be bearish on crude oil right now. I think that price could push higher on crude oil into this gap here. This would be a key level for me, this daily fair value gap. If we invert it, then look for continued higher prices. Otherwise, I'm looking for lower prices from here, because there's equal lows on the monthly chart. Yeah, on the 90-minute chart, this looks like a perfect accumulation, manipulation, distribution kind of schematic. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So I'd look for continued downside on oil. We might be bullish, guys. We'll see. Are you lowering your risk because of pre-NFP, or will you just enter with your regular size? I usually enter with my regular size. It depends on the setup quality, but for majority of the time, I just enter the same size. As of right now, there's not much that's interesting me in price. Previous day low SMT, that's about it. 5-minute SMT without... I guess earlier there was a change state delivery, but my narrative is more bearish than bullish. Nasdaq has pushed to my equal highs. Now I'm waiting for market structure shift to downside. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking for displacement lower, and then that'll get me in on a short. Otherwise, I think we might actually just continue pushing higher from this fair value gap, this daily fair value gap. We'll see how this plays out though. 90-minute chart wise, it technically is external to external range liquidity framework, but why I'm kind of moved pretty out of sync here, so we'll see. London high SMT. Did we get that? No, not yet. I mean, if we get that, once again, I'm really just looking for SMT and then a displacement afterwards. But as of right now, this initial displacement is telling me to lean more bullish than bearish. Also, why is my camera doing this? Okay. I don't know what to do. I hope it stays, but I think it's because my lens is too heavy. And then I'll move it down just a bit. I really don't want to stay. It's time to invest in a proper tripod. Wanted to get on this buy, that's why I was bullish, but it didn't give me entry point. Now I'm trying to get sells. Yeah, we'll see. It really just depends what's your narrative overall though, right? It's like, just because you didn't have an opportunity for your initial trade doesn't mean you just immediately flip bias. It's just, are you still in alignment of your higher time frame narrative? Because as of right now, if we continue trading the way we are, I'm paying attention to this new week opening gap on the 90-minute chart. If we can invert that, then I'll just continue looking for higher prices. And I think that price is going to resume that bullish bias that I initially had earlier this week. Do you think we take out London Asia highs first? I don't know. I gotta wait. I know I say I don't know a lot, but that's just the reality of trading. You just gotta be patient and let the market tell you. Ask the market. Market, do you think we take out London Asia high first? And then you wait for it to tell you the answer. Because regardless, even if it takes London high, Asia high, it doesn't really align with my model until we get, well, I mean, I guess if we take out London high, then it could, if we get a massive displacement lower after that, but that would mean prices already traded above my invalidation level at that point. So I'd probably just flip bias. Use high time frame, just liquidity sweeps. Yeah, I think that's completely fine. If you just use time-based liquidity, it's a game changer in itself. Use true open, like midnight open price. I used to, but not anymore, because I realize majority of the times, like if narrative's in alignment, I don't really want to pay attention to true opens, because if my narrative's already in alignment, and just because there's a line on my screen telling me I'm above it, I can't long it. It doesn't really make sense to me. Why do you want to short if previous day low and sell side liquidity has been taken? Well, as of right now, I'm not leaning too bearish anymore given how Nasdaq is trading. I'm really just waiting on this new week opening gap. How are we going to react if price gets to there? That's my invalidation level, right? So until that happens, I'm going to remain bearish because it's part of my plan. But my invalidation is if we trade above the new week opening gap, then I'll look for higher prices after that. Right? So it really is just, right now is just a game of patience. I'm just waiting. There's nothing much to it. If it gives me my setup, then I'll take it. But otherwise, I'm just waiting for invalidation and then probably continuation. I don't use footprint charts. 8:15 manipulation, 9:30 expansion. That's what it looks like as of right now. Did you disregard the fair value gap on daily for NQ? I didn't disregard it. I just initially going to the day, I didn't give it too much weight. And the reason why is because we have previous day high SMT. I'm looking for internal range liquidity, which would be a discount of this daily range or even this fair value gap over here. And so I needed lower time frame price action to pretty much confirm that. And until I get that, I'm not really going to do anything. My invalidation level right now is the new week opening gap. So if we do end up trading through it and, you know, close really bullishly above it, then I'll resume a bullish bias. But until then, I have this daily fair value gap in mind, but it doesn't hold too much weight because of my overall narrative for looking for lower prices. So 4 more minutes in this next candle. We'll see if we get a change to delivery with this candle, then I'll go for it. But until then, waiting on price to kind of show its hand. So 3 more minutes here. This is the position I'm thinking of as of right now. Once again, I'm going to need to wait for candle closure before I can really enter this position. There's still 3 more minutes here. Two more minutes here. One more minute. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Ghost, is the 950 candle right now. So I got 50 more seconds here, and then we'll see if we close below or not. $15. I'm now in the short. So this is the short I'm in. If I get stopped out, it is what it is. I'll look for a second opportunity. I'm risking 1R on this trade. Why aren't you interested in previous day low SMT look for a long? So the reason why I'm not looking at previous day low SMT for a long as of right now is because price has invalidated the new week opening gap, which is my key level for today. And so once we close below it, that was the invalidation of my bullish bias, which is why I was looking for lower prices. And so if we're able to close back above this new week opening gap, then I'll look for continued higher prices. But until then, I'm going to be looking for shorts. So that's my stop on my first position. On MNQ, I got stopped out. So that's minus 1R for me today. I'll wait for one more opportunity if it gives it to me. If not, then I'll probably be done for the day, but we'll see. What live broker do I use? I use AMP Futures. For the first opportunity, are you going to wait for London High to go first? Oh, for the next opportunity. I'm probably going to watch again. If price is able to displace lower, I'd probably just take another stab here. And then if it doesn't work out, then it is what it is. I'll be done for today. Your liquidity for Eli? Oh, he's long bias? Would not be surprised. Alright, let me make sure my narrative is in alignment. Daily for Valley Gap, previous day high SMT. Yeah, if we flip this NWOG, then I'll go bullish again. But until then, I'm probably just gonna wait for this. Look at that 4-hour rejection. You really think it will be bearish after that, bro? I mean, I'm just following my plan, so it doesn't really matter what I think at the end of the day. It's just what my model's telling me to do. I'm gonna do it. And then if this new week opening gap gets inverted, then I'll go long. But yeah, right now the 90-minute chart does look really bullish. I will agree with that. I want to see rejections, hopefully. Yeah, I'm going to watch this new week opening gap, see what price wants to do. If it taps into it and immediately dumps, then I'm going to enter another short. Otherwise, if it inverts and then creates like an opportunity on the lows for me to get long, then I'll look for a long. But as of right now, it's just a waiting game. Are we close to London highs? Not yet. So now we're trading into the new week opening gap. I'd like to see how price reacts from here. Let's see what Jesse's doing. He's in longs. Two two seven six nine. What is that? Equal highs? No, 227. Is that on a higher time frame? I have no idea what this level is, but I assume it's the equal highs. 22780. Oh yeah, that would be the equal highs. Yeah, that looks pretty good for now. I just want to see if this new week opening gap is gonna reject price lower, or is it gonna, you know, continue pushing price higher. CHF about to take me out. Typical than one time. The one time I broke my real risk 2R. Yeah, I mean, I think it's honestly not as bad as, I don't know. I guess breaking your rules is pretty bad, but 2R is a lot better than a lot of scenarios, in my opinion. And the reason why you increase risk is because you looked at it as an A+ setup, right? So you're playing around with dynamic risk. I think that's fine, to be honest. Crude oil looks pretty good so far. Gold, I don't know what's doing. Okay, so as of right now, this looks pretty bullish to me. So give this another like 4 minutes here. If we invert this new week opening gap, I want to see if price trades back into this new week opening gap. Does it continue to support price higher? And that'd be ideal for longs. I just need a SMT on the lows before going long. That's the only thing. Would you recommend AMP compared to Tradevate? So why I really like AMP is because you can trade directly on TradingView. Actually, you could do that on Tradevate too, but you have the bracket option, which is you can drag TP and stop loss. I personally like AMP because I use MT5 with it on my phone, which makes it really easy to execute from my phone. What are your thoughts on opening a 2.5K personal account with AMP? I've been profitable for 10 months and wondering if trading personal funds can sharpen up my trading. I would, if you want to do a personal account, I think the smartest way to do it is funnel your payouts into a personal account and fund it that way. And then that way you're pretty much like risk free because you're playing with your trading profits rather than putting extra money into it. But if we flip bullish, haven't we missed a move? Not necessarily. I want to see after, if this flips, right, if we hit 1030, we could potentially get an SMT on the lows and look for a continuation higher. And then this would just continue the higher time frame narrative. And that's why I really like using higher time frame, like top-down analysis, because by understanding the higher time frame narrative, right now we're not even halfway through the move to the external range high. So even if this idea is invalidated on the lower time frame, it's still going to be a move on the intermediate or higher time frame, right? So that's why I really like using higher time frames. Right now I use Ninja Trader to execute so I can get the brackets but chart on TV. Yeah, I like that too. It's just having the option to execute on my phone. I like that more than being locked down to a Windows app. Yep.
Let's get back.
Welcome back.
Two.
So as of right now, I think with this new week opening gap inversion on the 15-minute chart especially, I think that we're probably going to resume a bullish bias here. So if we get a 5-minute SMT on the lows of some sort, like at 10:30 probably, then I'll look for an entry. Or if we trade back into this new week opening gap and continue to push higher, then I'd look for that entry. But until then, just going to be sidelined here. SMT this, SMT that. Can't wait to trade futures, not gonna lie. I think even for Forex you have SMT though, so they don't necessarily have to go to futures. You'd pair gold with silver and copper.
Let's see if we get a little more of a push, and then I'll be done for the day. Oh my goodness, I think there's an ant on my leg. What the hell? Okay.
No wick on the 10 a.m. hourly. Let's see. Is that the candle that just formed, basically? I see a wick.
You can see some of guys.
I see a wick. There's a wick. There is a wick.
Alright. The quicker this hits, the quicker I can go to bed.
Oh yeah, it's nighttime for you.
Yeah.
Are you in on this?
Yeah, I'm in a long.
Nice. All your accounts?
No, just TFT.
Okay. Is it still eval phase or?
Yeah, honestly, my TFDs are like still kind of break even.
Oh,
It's not
I
good.
feel that. And man, TFDs are actually so tedious, bro.
But I don't know. It'll be worth it. I'm just play slow. I need to slow down. That's what I need to do. So,
Yeah. My TFD is like
Trying to rush the
working
process.
on the buffer now.
oh, okay. Oh, you got. Was it like did support help you like with instantly?
Oh yeah, apparently you have to manually click assessment completed. And then there's a button for that, and then you have to like activate your accounts, which is interesting.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to. You have to go to support.
Yeah, you don't actually. But I wish they would just
Okay.
automatically do it for you, you know what I mean? Or like
Yeah,
send
that'd
you
be
an
nice.
email or something.
Like there's no activation fees. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, makes sense. I think we took the exact same trade. Good stuff, Monkey. Oh my god. I did scale into this, so my entry, like your entry is probably better. But I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as we get a chunk of the move. Doesn't matter what's what.
Pretty slow so far. Well, actually, it's not that slow, but
I feel like this whole week has been kind of slow for me, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
yeah, it's because there's so many holidays this week. There's NFP tomorrow, and then there's also bank holiday on Friday. A lot of reasons
should be
for
a
market to
Friday.
slow down. Yeah.
I was so close to being baited by the 955 changing state. Not gonna lie. The bearish changing state, I was like, oh, low key. But
Yeah, I got baited by it. I took an L on that, but it's all good.
yeah,
Part of my plan.
I was like, sorry, could you?
I said, oh, I was just saying it's part of my plan.
Okay, yeah. I was like about to completely flip on it, and then like it just displaced up, and I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Mhm. Yeah, I was like, dang, all good though.
Ethan, you mean you took a W on the day because you followed the plan?
Oh yeah, true.
Boom.
P&L's red,
so,
habits green.
Bingo.
yeah. Just catching the W's, P&Ls, whatever.
That's long-term stuff right
Have
there.
you tried using Bookmap to spot resting liquidity? Couldn't it help build a stronger narrative? I personally don't. I think when you pay attention to like equal highs, equal lows, you automatically just pretty much know where majority of liquidity is. And also, whenever you use heat maps, it can be spoofed as well, which is why I personally don't prefer it. I used to use it for crypto. What SMT would you be looking for on the low 90-minute? Yeah, as of right now, probably just a 90-minute SMT on the low.
I don't think you can spoof anything regarding
Futures?
indices.
Oh. Is it against regulations or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's against the law.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll look into it.
But yeah, I mean, I might be wrong, but
Anyone know prop firm called Take Profit Trader? I've heard of them. I see so many ads for them. I've never traded with them though, so at your own discretion. Oh yeah, you can also have iceberg orders. That's another thing. But I think I've just gotten so comfortable with price action trading that order flow, I don't know, maybe I'll look into it, maybe not, but for now I think I'm just chilling on how I'm trading, so I don't feel like adding anything new necessarily.
Oh, guys, check out the skyline view. Oh wait, I can show everyone. Just realized. cityscape.
Are you showing on
You know what I'm
stream? Or?
saying? Oh yeah, on stream. I can actually turn on my camera too. I don't mind.
I think you can only have it on
Dang.
one thing at a time. Can you? Oh, nice.
Both.
Oh, that's pretty fire.
What island are
Yeah.
you on?
I'm on.
Yeah, dox yourself.
I'm at the.
Give me your address.
That's fine. It's pretty big. I'm on home and team like station. If you know where that is, I'm like on that, pretty much right on top of that station.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
just like
Noise.
Very cool. Very cool.
Use footprint will help
Shiba.
with your entries. Change my trading. I've been trading long from 22616 closed now. Yeah, I'll maybe look into it. I know Jesse started using them, but again, I feel like my trading's in a good spot. I'll look into it, but I don't necessarily want to add too much.
Shit, please. The dog. I'm not gonna touch a stranger's dog, bro. I can't do that.
Can you show us some A+ setup and explanation? Why be good when you can be the best? You see, that was my mentality that made me very wildly unprofitable in the past.
All right, that's my profit, guys. I'm gonna hop off.
Okay, let's see.
Good
I
game.
am-
Good game.
Good game. Good game. I'm gonna
Alright,
enjoy a
Nice
strong
trade.
0 if you guys know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Nice trade though.
It's like a 9% can of beer, or not beer. It's like a seltzer, but it's 9%, so it's actually like silly. But also, I do know I'm of age. I just want to make that clear, everyone. I'm of age. There's no illegal activities or anything going on. I'm just enjoying a drink.
Yeah,
Just want to clarify.
I think there was an A+ setup on Monday, but it was an afternoon trade. Over here, if I do replay mode, if it lets me.
Later.
Later, dude.
Later, take care.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I just ended stream.
on Monday, yeah, there was an A+ setup here because there's a. I mean, is it really A+? It technically is A+, but the RR is not that great. So here on Monday, the framework was internal to external in the PM session, where price traded back into this fair value gap right here.
Oh.
Looking for external range liquidity up here. On the 5-minute chart, there's a 5-minute SMT that occurs during the PM session between. Let me just make sure that this is true. I don't think there's I think it's a 15-minute. Sorry, it was a 15-minute SMT here. And so off of this 15-minute SMT, this is where I would have looked for that long. I don't trade PM session because there's no volatile injection on this day specifically, but this is where the entry would be, and then you'd be targeting that external range high. And it would have just been like a 1-to-1 trade, 1-to-1R trade, but this is technically an A+ setup right here, just not a very high RR one. But it really is just aligning yourself with the narrative of the higher time frame. After you're in alignment, you're just looking for that entry on the lower time frame that confirms the continuation.
Damn.
Your knowledge of ICT can be applied on other markets. So why you only trade NQ? Because it's more familiar. I think for the most part, it's just like, yeah, I just trade this my entire career, so Nasdaq moves the most comfortably for me. But when it comes to like swing trading and stuff like that, yeah, I do look at other markets sometimes. It just depends on if there's a clean setup or not. Also, what happened to GBP USD? What the heck? What was that?
I felt so dumb. My whole plan
Yeah.
was I was gonna short it yesterday, and I
crazy.
just forgot. I had it marked out and everything.
Ever since I got profitable, every time I tried to improve by adding more to my strategy, I end up going months struggling to get a payout. It's just, I think it makes sense to add to your strategy if you have like hundreds and hundreds of trades that like live trades, and then you realize there's something recurring that's holding back your stats by like maybe 1% win rate, or it's holding back your results by like 0.5 R. But those small increments over time that you make are what's going to really set you apart, I feel like. Not necessarily just diving into something new and then adding it. What's your tactic for trailing drawdown? So I pretty much just trail market structure. That's my strategy. So whenever I'm in a trade, I look for break of structure and I just trail to the lowest order block or swing low that respects a fair value gap in that new leg. So if I'm in a trade, then I wait for break of structure and I'll just trail. Every time you get a break of structure, I just trail to the new swing low and then trail to the new swing low. So I just keep it very simple, and it's essentially just the saying, trend is your friend, right? Why did the model suggest bearish to start with? Was it because YM and ES took a previous day high and NQ didn't? Yes. So the reason why I was leaning bearish is because we had previous day high SMT. And then within this daily range, I thought that it would be a good narrative to head for discount into this internal range equity and then look for higher prices after that, which is why I was bearish today. But given that now the new week opening gap has been reinverted for bullish, like it's a bullish new week opening gap now, I'd look for continued higher prices after that. But until I get some sort of cracking correlation on the lows, I'm probably gonna stay sidelined. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen today. And it's already 10:30, so I'm probably gonna hop off pretty soon here. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure I was just offside today, which is why I took an L. Otherwise, if I was bullish, then it would have been a really nice long trade from this low down here at 9 o'clock would have been your entry. But just because my narrative was offside, that's what caused me to take one loss today. So on days when there's previous day SMT in both directions, how do you know which one is SMT and which is just lagging? If we try to decide using narrative, we're trading in premium, so wouldn't the short still make sense? So how I filter is, like you said, is with narrative. So let's say I have a previous day high, previous day low, then I'll look at my daily chart, and this is where I start dissecting price from higher time frames, right? And that'll give me the context of what price is likely trying to do in terms of that lower time frame or relatively lower time frame SMT. And then in terms of narrative, we are technically trading in premium, but the thing is we have an SMT with external range low right now, which is giving me confidence to look for external range high. On top of that, the overall narrative of the higher time frame is bullish, right? So if it's telling me it's been trending higher, and if it's telling me that this is the fair value gap it wants to trade higher from, then so be it. I'm just gonna align myself with that narrative again and then continue trading in the direction that the higher time frame is trying to go. Once NQ swept previous day low, does that invalidate the bearish SMT at previous day high and hence could look for higher prices, especially within key level? Yes and no. So in this case, I would say it could potentially do that because this is a retracement idea that I'm looking for, and the overall narrative of the higher time frame is bullish, right? However, the reason why I was looking for lower prices is because I would have liked to see price dig a little deeper into discount first, potentially this fair value gap right here, and then continue higher. So technically it would invalidate it, but because the context of the daily range is that we're at a premium, we just took out all-time highs, I'd be open to a retracement That's why I was looking for sells. But technically, yes, it would be an invalidation of that previous day high. It's just because the context of everything else was telling me to lean bearish, which is why I chose to lean bearish over bullish today. When you got stopped at the short, did you immediately re-look and change your bias, or do you wait for more opportunity? So when I got stopped out, what I typically what I want to avoid is immediately taking action on something else, right? I just need to take, like, if I take a loss, it's gonna invoke some sort of emotion, whether that be small or big. I think everyone goes through it. It's like if you take a loss, it is kind of like a dang, that kind of sucks kind of moment. So I always try to just recalibrate myself and look at what price is objectively doing. So even just because I got stopped out doesn't mean I'm immediately looking for another opportunity. It's more so, okay, let's zoom out and see what the overall narrative of price is trying to do. My plan earlier was to pay attention to new week opening gap, right? And so understanding that, that's why I took my short, because we haven't invalidated this new week opening gap yet. So I took this short on this down close candle, 955, took a loss on it. And so I just zoom out and recalibrate myself. What is price doing in relation to my invalidation level as of right now? Well, it looks like price is just continuously pushing through it. And so once we close above it, now I'm resuming my bullish bias. And if we get an opportunity to go long, then I'm going to look for it. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be down 1 hour on the day. And it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I know that I followed my model. I know I followed the plan. And it just didn't work out today. Tomorrow's a new day. So after you go, you won't enter unless you see previous 90-minute low and it's before 11:30. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I would like to see at this point, like, if Nasdaq, it pulls back and then gives me a change of state delivery right here, let's say with this candle, and then YM drives lower, taking out that previous 90-minute low, then I'll consider taking a long. But if that doesn't happen, then there's no opportunity at all. So yeah, I think on that note, I will end my stream here. I appreciate you all for joining. As always, I would not short right now. No, I would not short anymore, given that my invalidation level has been pretty much, the criteria for invalidation has been met, right? On the 90-minute chart, we closed above the new week opening gap. The 6-hour chart, we're not respecting the 6-hour fair value gap anymore. So I'm going to be looking for higher prices ultimately. So if there's any updates on positions, stuff like that, it'll be announced in the Discord as always. But other than that, as of right now, it's looking like I'm just going to leave it 1 hour, minus 1 hour on the day, and just call it there. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining as always, and have a great rest of your days. If you are still trading, good luck with trading.